Glenn Beck. He's going to talk to Craig T. Nelson. That's the thing with these conservatives. Once you let go of the idea of logic, once you're no longer attached to reason, then it's no wonder that we don't understand what you're talking about. Because you don't go from one point to another in a logical way. You jump around like a maniac. Try to see if you can decipher what the hell Craig T. Nelson's talking about here as he talks to Glenn Beck.
Accountable. And they haven't been. You know, no one is accountable anymore for anything. No one did anything wrong. Everyone, well, you're to blame, that's to blame, this is to blame. As an investor, as someone who gets taxed an awful lot, I just say I'm not going to pay. So you guys can show me that you're fiscally responsible. Until then, listen, the first thing they went after, education. We're going to cut education.
Why would they do that?
Why? It's the most important thing in the world.
Yeah. And then cops and prisons.
And firefighters.
Right.
We don't have any fires in California.
Yeah.
They were within half a mile of my house 3 times.
When you saw Jay Leno and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is my voice really high?
No, it's just a head cold. It's the beginning of the swine flu.
I got to remember to breathe.
When you saw Arnold Schwarzenegger on Leno the other day, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, he said, "I get the message now. I got the message now. We're not supposed to." Now you get the message?
No. But look, we've had legislators. We are no longer represented. Okay, we just aren't. And there's been a political fight. There's been a pluralism in our California government. You certainly see it reflected in the national government, don't you? I mean, people are blaming each other. Nobody's taking responsibility for what they said or what they did.
Yeah.
And those people are responsible to us. They were elected. This is a democracy.
So what do you do?
It's a republic.
Are you?
My God.
Thank you for saying we're a republic.
No, we are a republic, and that means that we need to be represented.
So
we're not being. We're not being. Listen, I'm not going to pay any more money. What these people are asking me to do.
You're seriously saying I'm not going to? You're not.
No, I'm asking Glenn Beck to promote this. I'm saying it personally, but I'm asking you.
Are you saying you personally won't pay income tax anymore?
I'm really thinking about it, Glenn, because as a fiscally responsible grandfather, there are programs that they're asking me to fund that I refuse to fund.
You know, I have to tell you,
if the veterans coming back are not getting what they deserve, those people that have served, that put themselves in harm's way, if my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchild, who's about to be here, thank you, grandson, is not going to be educated properly, then I'm through with it. You know, I'm not going to spend money on these things that you're asking me to. They should be bankrupt. What happened? We are a capitalistic society. Okay, I go into business, I don't make it, I go bankrupt. They're not going to bail me out. I've been on food stamps and welfare. Anybody help me out? No.
Yeah.
No. They gave me hope, and they gave me encouragement, and they gave me a vision. And that came from my education. So, to me, you know, going back to California and the hedge fund, because we're no longer a state, I just feel like going after our kids, our education, and the most valuable people we have on the planet, teachers. I just got to tell you, I'm so sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm just sick and tired of it. And I'm old enough now, and I've been in the business 45 years, they can't fire me.
Yeah. I can always fire you. I can always fire you. Okay.
All right, first theory, he's drunk. And that's why Glenn Beck keeps leaning away from him. Like, he doesn't want to smell his, like, drunk breath, right? Because none of those things were logically connected to one another. In fact, they were the exact opposite of logic. First, he was like, they're spending money like crazy. We should spend more money on education, teachers, firefighters, and veterans. Well, you just said you didn't want to spend money, and then you talked about all the things that the Democrats want to spend money on. Who wants to spend money on education? Democrats. Veterans, Democrats. Firefighters, Democrats. It doesn't make, and then he's like, they didn't give me anything. They just gave me food stamps and welfare. Well, then they gave you something. They gave you food stamps and welfare. Look, you know what it is? They're frustrated, man. And they weren't attached to logic in the first place. And so they're just like stabbing in the dark. They're mad that they're not in power anymore. And they're just like, they're spending too much. They're not spending enough. I hate them. I'm not going to take it anymore. Really? You're not going to pay taxes? I'm thinking about it. Really? We're going to have to drag your ass to jail because you're not paying taxes? Please.
He nutted up really fast. There was one point, I thought I must have heard it wrong, so maybe you were listening a little closer. He said, I'm out in California. We don't have fires in California. We don't?
No, that's what it was crazy. He was being sarcastic, saying we should spend money on firefighters. But his whole overall point was we shouldn't spend any money, so it didn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? It's like they say the problem with California is we're raising taxes too much. The Republicans say this, conservatives say this, like Craig T. Nelson. We're raising taxes too much. Instead, we should cut spending. And he's like, we should cut spending and spend more on fighting fires and education and teachers and veterans. But that's what we say. That's why you didn't understand it, Jared, because it didn't make any freaking sense. They've lost their bearings, man. They don't know which way to attack. Final thing was, you know what we are, Glenn? We're a republic. And Glenn Beck says, thank you for saying that. Who says we're not a republic? You know what? Here, I'll shake your hand, too. Agreed. We're a republic. Big whoop-de-doo. And let me tell you something else, Glenn. The sky is blue. It's blue. Thank you for saying that the sky is blue. I really appreciate that. Okay. Man, strange. Very strange.